Hello and welcome back to Humans and Society. This video focuses on the lesson Human Person and Society from the subject Introduction to the Philosophy of the Human Person. The Oxford Dictionary defines society as an aggregate of people living together in a more or less ordered community. From here we find several elements: a group of people, a common place, interaction, and a structure involving common culture, laws, and livelihood. We have already discussed several philosophers who talked about the formation of societies, like John Locke, Thomas Hobbes, and Jean-Jacques Rousseau, who all talked about the social contract as a political and economic necessity. Let's look at another philosopher who talked about the social contract in a different way. Edmund Burke was an 18th century philosopher and statesman. During his time, the people already understood the social contract as taught by the previously mentioned philosophers. Burke, however, does not believe that man entered the contract purely for material needs and security. He promoted the view that human beings have material, scientific, artistic, and moral needs. We enrich our lives through science, art, and virtue. The people in society must embody the common good for the present and the future. They refer to the customs and religion of their ancestors whenever possible, because individual judgment is fallible, and we need the knowledge from the past to guide us. Society involves not only the people living in the now, it also involves our ancestors and our descendants. This means that society is a contract, both of tradition and of change. Throughout history, society has evolved several times as more and more people become part of it, and as technology changed the way people live. Still, all of these types of societies can be found in different parts of the world. The first incarnation of society is the pre-industrial societies, of which there are two evolutions: the tribal society and the agrarian society. Pre-industrial means before the invention of machines for mass production. The tribal society is a small group of people from a limited territory sharing a common culture and code. They are usually self-sustaining because all the members have multiple roles. Tribal societies are often considered primitive societies because they close themselves off from other tribes and in modern times from the rest of the world. The second type of pre-industrial society is the feudal society. Feudalism is a social system based on land ownership. Peasants are the farmers and their families who live and work on the land, while the lord is the landowner who protects the peasants in exchange for a large share of the harvest. The lords pay tribute to the king in the form of gold, and the king will assign his knights to guard the lord's land. As more and more people leave the farmlands, the towns grew into cities. They became more interested in the arts, science, and business, which sparked the Renaissance, the Age of Enlightenment, and the Industrial Revolution. This gave birth to the industrial society, whose main economy is commercialism, based on the manufacture of standardized products from a factory line of man and machines. The contemporary society is the present society we are living in. It is post-industrial because there is a shift from the production of goods to the production of services. The machines have taken on most of the manual work in the factories, and people are working in the technical and professional fields. People are creating more and better technology to make life easier. We are in the onset of the digital society, or the virtual society, leading to globalization. Technology has allowed man to interact from remote locations, changing the way we study, the way we work, and the way we socialize. Information can be found and exchanged freely to a wider audience through the internet, paving the way for many creative and business opportunities. We have become digital citizens. A digital citizen is a person who is knowledgeable and responsible enough to effectively use the different social platforms on the internet. They engage in useful topics that will help build a better society. However, a human person can only go so much without genuine human interaction and not change. Technology, although helping with instant communication, has made it impersonal, and it is slowly removing the humanity from man. We are being disembodied. We have become slaves to technology, numb to the realities of the world outside our virtual life. Two modern day philosophers have talked about the connection between humans and society. According to Martin Heidegger, at present, humanity does not live according to the natural cycles regulated by natural rhythms anymore. They live lives in an artificial environment characterized by the results of technology. We are sleeping less and eating unhealthy food. Despite the advancements in technology, man's success in developing itself is faced with the inability and lack of humanistic knowledge to answer the real problem of the masses, such as poverty, ignorance, and famine. In this high-tech age, instead of conforming to the natural order, people force nature to conform to their needs and expectations. Whenever nature proves unsatisfactory for human purposes, people reframe it as they see fit. Bertrand Russell was one of the founders of analytic philosophy. He argued for a scientific society where war could be abolished, population growth can be limited, and prosperity is shared under a single supreme world government able to enforce peace. He claimed that the only thing that will redeem humankind is cooperation. He pushed for changes in the laws regarding tolerance for homosexuality and supported universal basic income. It is possible to create a new science and technology that would place us in harmony rather than in conflict with nature. Nature should be treated as another subject instead of a mere raw material. Human beings should learn to achieve their aims through realizing nature's inherent potentialities instead of laying it waste for the sake of power and profit. As John Lennon once sang, "Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us and the world will live as one." The ideas discussed in this video are based on the content standards of the Department of Education. Thank you for watching and see you in the next lesson.